and the big stuff, the big content we were here for.
Let's pull it up. So,
right. Do you want to go Copa America or you want to go Euro first?
I said let's go Euros first.
Let's go Euro first. All right, we're obviously doing the FOTMob tournament predictor here.
Oh, cool. You got it pulled up.
Yeah, I got it. So FOTMob gives us a sponsorship. Shout out.
FOTMob is a great app.
Yeah. Great app. All the app you need for just football content. And let's just get into it. So, obviously, I do have the Wikipedia page pulled up real quick. So, obviously, 2024 host in Germany, we have obviously the two top winners of the Euros, Germany, Spain, Italy with 2, France with 2, and then, of course, just everyone else sharing 1 apiece.
Germany. Germany is one of the most successful teams.
Mm-hmm. Tied with the most successful.
And they just so happen to be hosting the tournament.
Yeah, so just want to play that in because I think that's going to be one of the big things for this tournament. I think either one person is going to be leveling the record of 3 most wins in European competitions, or most wins with 3, or I think someone's going to be a clear winner. So that's just my preview. Now let's just get into actually predicting this whole thing. So
all right, let's start with
Group A, obviously.
I think let's do. You want to do predictions and analysis as you're going through? Analysis first, and at the end predictions of who goes through.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So I think in this tournament, I think it's gonna be like similar to last time, where was it the best four third place teams go through the next round?
Yeah, that's correct. That's the new rules.
Okay, so we got Germany. I read an interesting stat on them. So they were on like a 6-match losing streak, right?
Yeah.
And then they recently just brought back Toni Kroos to the national side. And in every game he scored, or every game he's played since then, he's assisted a goal.
Oh, really?
And won man of the match.
Okay. Wow.
So I'm kind of feeling like Zidane-esque vibes from him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is his last dance.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the only trophy he hasn't won. The only one.
It's the only one. And I think it is special since, like you said, Nagelsmann did specifically call him up and ask him to unretire from national play.
Yep.
And I think Germany has a lot to live for and to play for this this European competition. Of course, at Germany, they've had kind of a terrible run of form when it comes to like the last 2 competitions, major competitions.
Yeah.
In European competitions, and then obviously in the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, kind of going a shift in systems they were at with, obviously the tried and true Joachim Löw system that got them the World Cup back in Brazil. They went to Hansi Flick for a little bit. Am I tripping about that?
Hansi Flick took over and they did really poor.
Yeah, they didn't qualify. They didn't get out of the group their last year, I think.
Even though he's a really good manager, they just didn't do well under him.
Yeah.
For one reason or another.
Mm-hmm. And so now we have Nagelsmann, the newer guard of German coaching, and we have obviously Toni Kroos and Muller, some of the older guard, Neuer as well of Germany, and then have this now new guard coming in with Havertz, Musiala, Wirtz. I think this is going to be an interesting thing, and I think Germany do go deep just because it is in their home country, and I think they have to perform, have to deliver.
Oh, look at this.
They did lose to Austria. I'm just seeing. Brent's showing me.
Is this? No, so that's before Toni Kroos got called up, right? So since Toni Kroos got called up in March, the thing is they got a little glitch here. Like, is that the Greece flag? That is the Greece flag.
Yeah, it's a Greece flag.
So anyway,
let me see if I can just pull that up for the viewers. So we can just go into Euros. We can just select Germany. Just seeing how. Come on, FOTMob. I'm just showing how great the UI is here.
Yeah, the recent form.
Fixtures, recent form.
So they've played. They just played Netherlands and they've won.
Yeah.
And then it's not showing, is it? But
no, I mean Netherlands was played on the 26th of March. So yesterday they played Greece.
Played Greece.
And then
they beat Greece 2-1 with the last minute winner.
Okay.
Toni Kroos got man.
A little Pascal Gross winner. Okay.
Yeah, they tied 0-0 against Ukraine.
Yeah, we're seeing.
So maybe just getting the rust off, after not like playing together for a couple months. That's completely understandable. That's reasonable.
But beating the Dutch 2-1 and then also beating France 2-0. That's kind of one of the eye-opening fixtures. Of course, I really don't care much about friendlies, but I think that's very eye-opening that they did beat one of the greatest teams around right now.
Let's see if France were at their like full strength, and they had they had Mbappe playing, they had Chouameni playing, Dembele playing, they had so they brought out their best squad. Did they bring out their best performance? I don't know.
No, I don't think.
I think you save your best performance for competitive games.
Yeah.
But if friendlies tell us anything, they at least have some good chemistry going on right now. So they're going into the tournament really, really good form, good mentality. It seems like it's working under Julian Nagelsmann, so that's a good sign. Yeah. I think they're one of the favorites, actually. I really do.
I agree.
Let's go on to Hungary.
Hungary
is one of those resilient teams that they managed to get. If I'm not wrong, either first or second last Euro in the same. Or no, that was I'm thinking 2 years ago.
No.
2 years ago, they managed to get like second place in the same group with like Portugal in it, and they bumped Portugal down to third.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure. Let's check Euro 2020.
We can go back
to see if so. Euro 2020, they actually were in the same group as Portugal again, but they finished fourth. But I mean, that was a group of death.
Yeah, I do remember.
That was a group of
them being in that group of death last Euro, but them also being very, like you said, resilient, very defensive-minded. They were hard to break down for some of those top teams.
Yeah.
Even in that group stage period. So I do think it's a team that's gonna make you work hard. Obviously, they have Szoboszlai, they have Shalai from I believe Mönchengladbach. They have those two known players. I think they have Orban too from RB Leipzig. So some talent around the top leagues of Europe, but I think they'll like what they'll do. They'll just give the two teams I think that are top in this group a hard time, but I don't think they actually do anything or make any noise this competition.
Yeah, I say I agree with you on that. But one interesting thing, if you click on Hungary real quick and you go to their fixture history, they're in great form. Aside from that loss to Ireland, if you go beyond the loss to Ireland, they're coming in with like barely any losses. And it's a little easier to see on the mobile app.
But we got Kosovo. So, you keep... Like, Brandon's right. They haven't lost. Wow. Let's see last time they lost. Last time they lost was Italy in 2022.
Yeah, so they're
apart from that from the Ireland loss. Wow.
Yeah, they're coming in good form, which I say it's like a good sign at least. I mean, and they just lost to Ireland just 2-1 on this recent. And like I said, that at first friendly match after the season, you're getting the rust off, right? And then they ended up beating Israel 3-0. So good signs. Like we said, they're going to give everyone in that group their money's worth. And I could see them getting a result even from Scotland or Switzerland.
That's going to be interesting. Like I think we'll get into predictions in a second, but I think whoever gets third does go off to the playoffs.
Yeah. That group is very tight.
Yeah.
Very tight.
But as you said, Scotland. Anything of note you want to talk about Scotland?
From what I'm looking at, Scotland's coming in like pretty bad form.
Yeah. Looking at the stats, they're the classic punt it long and then try to cross the ball into one of the big men.
Yeah. What big players are from Scotland?
There's Shea Adams right now. Who else is Scottish?
Let's look at their recent match.
Shea Adams is like the biggest well-known. I maybe Kieran Tierney. I mean, he doesn't play for Arsenal anymore. Any others? Robertson, of course. Who else? The guy from Brighton.
Kieran Tierney.
The whatever his name is.
Billy Gilmore.
There we go. Before I got roasted.
Billy Gilmore. All right. Yeah. So they're coming in.
They're all right.
Not the best form. They beat Gibraltar, but I mean Gibraltar is getting like massacred, right? If I'm not mistaken.
They're one of the worst international sides of all time.
Was that not the team who lost 14-0 to France?
It's either Gibraltar or
I think it was
the Maldives.
Yeah, it was Gibraltar.
It was Gibraltar.
They lost 14-0 to France last November. So, I mean, getting a win over Gibraltar.
I guess that's not saying something.
No offense if you're from Gibraltar. I mean, you just don't have a great national team. Is what I'm saying. So, yeah, Scotland, so far the weakest team in that group, based on recent results.
Yeah.
Whether they show up in those types of forms in the tournament, it's up to them. Let's move on to Switzerland, who always seem to put up good stats in tournaments in general. Like they knocked out France last Euro, right?
Yeah, they did beat France last year. It wasn't one of the crazier games, a 3-3.
Yeah,
went to penalties.
Yup.
And I think, like you said, this is who coaches them, because he always gets the team up to play well for big tournaments, and I really have to credit them, of course, with Granit Xhaka there. They got Shaqiri, who's been there forever. They got Jan Sommer.
Coming off a good season, Granit Xhaka.
Yep, they've got, Fabian Schär. They've got Akanji. This team's only looking like it could do something again, and that's what I do believe. No, Okafor too. I mean, there's quite a few players. Kobal as well. I mean, I'm not
Summer.
I'm missing a few of them too.
They got a good goalkeeper. They got a good center back. Rodriguez, he's been consistent. I like when he was at Wolfsburg. Xhaka, of course. What happened to Shaqiri? Is he injured? Oh, he's coming off the bench on this previous game. So yeah, they got a good team. I say they're either a little bit better than Hungary. Based on form, like their form is a little bit mixed, right? So
yeah, I got their form pulled up here on the.
Their form's a little bit mixed. They get wins. They get a lot of draws. I'll say that.
Yeah, they do.
Whole lot of draws. They win. So I think based on all those stats, you might be able to guess what our predictions are, right?
Yeah.
So let's go. Okay, let's say first place in Group A.
Is Germany.
I think Germany. I think that one's pretty clear. Germany's coming in hot. They're playing at home, and yeah, I think the team gives them.
Go 1-2 Swiss.
I think number 2 is Swiss.
Okay.
Yeah, Germany and Swiss are number 2. Oh, you got a little
slider.
That's cool.
Yeah. So this is great.
And I do think Hungary finished third. So based on just recent form and overall just sturdiness of the team, and Scotland. I mean, sorry, Scotland, your recent form does not entail that you'll have a great tournament.
Yeah,
but that's good. That means that you have nothing to lose, right? Like
no,
you have low expectations probably. So
I will say their fan base travels well. Obviously, the Scottish are very passionate people. It's more of a toss up for me, but I'm not going to argue if you try to convince me that Hungary's going to finish third from there, because I think either one of those teams finish third, and then they go off and become a really tough round of 16 matchup for one of the group winners.
Cool.
But I think that's our Group A.